need a microphone for this one.
Probably that.
Hi everyone, so happy that you're here with me today. I'm sharing my creative journey with the strong, the fast, and the tiny. It's a Niska FY26. I'm a grantee, I suppose, yes. So thank you, Niska. That stands for New York State Council on the Arts. I received a composition grant and I got to create this opera. The original title is The Strong, the Fast, and the Tiny, and it is based on this book. This is my prototype. My actual printed book is a little bigger. That is available in River Road Bookshop and the Discovery Center of the Southern Tier. So if you want one, yay, go there! Yay! I figured this out so then I don't have to worry about the sales tax. Sales tax, yes. Oh, it's all recorded, yep. And so this project, this exciting project starts with John Rozzoni, that's the general director of TCO. So one day he asked me, he said, hey, would you like to write a children's opera? That's how everything started, a question like that, back in 2024. And then because of the question, we later went to an event hosted by Artist Brand Navigation, right? Okay, that's Anna over there, you can ask questions later. And then next, story research, okay. So then I went back home and thought, what story could I possibly write for children's opera? I went to my childhood. Do you want to guess which one is me? Is it this one? Is it this one?
The tall one on the left.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So that's my dad, my mom, that's me, my sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that. That's right. And then, so I went back home and then, not went back home, I went back to my childhood memory, started to read a lot of stories, and then I found this pretty amazing story. It's about mice and a cat. So the original story was about a bunch of mice getting harassed by a cat. So these bunch of mice decide that, well, it's really weird. Amongst these mice, there is a mouse couple. They are about to host a wedding. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. On the third day of the Lunar New Year, if you check the Lunar New Year calendar, sometimes, when I check on it, there is one saying that this one line there saying, do not disturb the cat. Do not disturb the mice, because the mice are having a wedding. So on that day, hypothetically, this story happened. So the mouse couple is trying to find the most powerful son-in-law for their daughter. And their purpose for this is that they hope the son-in-law will help them defend themselves from the cat. So they thought, okay, what could the most powerful thing be? They first think, okay, the sun is pretty powerful, let's go ask the sun. They go to the sun, and then the sun says, no, I am not as powerful as you think. The wind is more powerful because it blows the clouds, and that hides me behind, I can't do anything about it. They go to the wind, and then the wind says, no, I'm not the most powerful thing. The wall is more powerful because it blocks me from blowing through. They go to the wall, and of course the wall says, I am not the most powerful thing. And so the mice go, what could be more powerful than you now? And then the wall says, you guys, because you guys nibble on me, you make holes on me, and I can't do anything about it. So in the original story, the mouse couple decided to marry their daughter to a fellow mouse. The end of the story. I didn't take marital advice from my parents. And also I'm a believer for women, empowering women. I think women are powerful as they are. They don't need to get married into power. They can be powerful on their own. So when I was thinking of this story, planning on using this story, I took the marriage out completely. I just created 3 mice. They have different strengths. One is strong, One is fast, one moves really fast, and one is tiny, but that tiny one sings really beautifully, sings loudly and beautifully. So those are their specialty, and they go on the same journey. And then that's the research. So I found a story. I said, hey, this is the story, and then we all got very excited about the story. Next, oh, that line is cut off. So the next question I faced was, is there a children's book about the story? Because usually when you produce a children's opera, you go out with a children's book, yay! And there was no book about it. So at the time, by the end of 2024, there was another grant opening up. I applied for a grant to publish a book. I got it thanks to many people. And so that was the creation of this book. So when there is no book, create a book, right? Yay. And then, so this opera creation takes over 2 years. When I was creating the book, I was already feeling that, okay, there may be some musical things going in and out. And so although I really started to work on it this year, all the stories that happened before helped shape me to this point, and my work to that point. So this is a local author, L.R. Robinson, and she writes romantic novels, and she also lives in Mexico. So I went to her and I said, hey, would you mind looking at my story and giving me some feedback? So she gave me many constructive criticism, and that's very helpful. And then this one over here is Alton, yeah. And so he runs an international reading group. And I said, hey, would you mind first looking at the story for me, giving me some feedback? And second, what's the next step after you have a story ready? For an opera is to create a libretto. So I wrote out a libretto, and then I said, hey, Alton, could you help me get your group? Maybe your group would be interested in reading my libretto and providing me some feedback. And he said, of course. All right. So we're gonna hear some clicks from this reading. Oh. And this is a Zoom, online call, so the angle is all wacky. And you can see some furniture, interesting furniture, Taiwanese furniture too. Let's see.
Else can bring happiness to my world. Have I all explored?
Oh, that's Lo Miao, anyways.
More meow. Exits. Stage left. Scene 3. The greatest might must be allied. Trio. The scene changes to the mice's hideout. Strong, fast, and tiny enter from stage right. They are collecting themselves at their own corners.
Four meow gets us one by one.
One by one, only 3 of us now abide.
So at this point, they did not know the music because the music wasn't created yet. They were just reading it with their natural feeling, and then I took that in as part of the composition process. I tried to find the rhythm for the words, and the natural feeling of it. So yeah, they did a fantastic job, and let's see if we have some great feedback.
This could be Morse code. Does anyone know Morse code?
And some of these people are professional actors. A lot of them are very active in Taiwan. So when they read, they are extremely expressive. That really helps me visualize the space and the storyline and structure. So they did great. If you ever need a reading group, let me know. We can handle Mandarin reading and English reading. Yes, I also help them from time to time too. That's how we all got mingled together. Next. So after I had the blueprint of this opera, it's important during this creative process, I had the chance to test it out. So I first told my kids went to, I mean, they go to Tioga Hills Elementary. So I talked to their teacher. I said, hey, would you be interested in learning a book and an opera by a local author who happens to be a mom to the kids that go to your school? And so they said, yeah, sure, of course. So that was fantastic. I went in there, I talked to the third grader and the first graders, and I shared the opera. I knew what they liked and what they would fall asleep during. So those are very helpful things I learned. And then, and the beautiful part about sharing at school is that once you go into one school, they take pictures, they send the information to the district. And then other schools from the same district and even from different districts saw the news and they started to contact me and said, hey, can you do one here and there? So I ended up sharing a small presentation in Johnson City High School for their cultural night. And then I also shared a book event at the Discovery Center of Santiago. They said they want a local author to talk about the book creation. So I went. Okay. All right. And now, after we had the things all started to build up, it's important for me to see a small segment of how the big picture could be. And at that time, Jewish Community Center in Binghamton contacted me and said, hey, we have this literacy day thing and we would like to use your story for it. And then I said, hey, I also wrote an opera based on the book. And they said, well, then would you like to do a presentation of your opera? I said, I don't think I have the resources to do the whole show yet. The whole show is about 25 minutes long. And then I said, but I could do a short presentation, just do some highlights. And so you see Emmanuel here. This is a really big challenge for the bass baritone because the baritone has to sing 4 roles in this opera. So now I'm gonna go back to the story I actually wrote. So in my book, once the mice realized that they have the potential to defeat the cat on their own, they came up with a plan, and then they succeeded. All right. In my opera, their plan did succeed, but the cat broke out from the trap and turned into a super cat. So the cat captured the strong and the fast. And there is another thing about this cat is that all the reasons behind the cat's violence had nothing to do with hunger or, just nothing to do with hunger. It's just a very unhappy cat who finds torturing other people, making other people feel pain, a pleasure to do. I mean, find pleasure. He finds pleasure by witnessing other people's suffering. Okay, I should rephrase it that way. So he caught all the mice, but he didn't eat them. He just captured them and then dressed them up as a little bit creepy, and made them do like puppet show thingy. But then at the point during the end of this opera, the cat actually said, maybe I should start eating mice like my ancestor. Maybe that's the reason that I'm not happy right now. So the cat started to cook the mice, and then the 3 main characters showed up, stopped this. They performed that plan, they succeeded, but then the cat broke out, turned into a super cat, and then the cat was about to take the strong and the fast. At this moment, Tiny showed up and said, no, stop, don't eat them. You just said you never ate any mice before. I think you should start with someone that's very tiny, just me. So the cat was like, whoa, that's an interesting request, never heard of it. Okay, I guess I'll start with you now, little one. Do you have any last wish? And then the Tiny says, yeah, could I sing a song? And just like that, that solo piece turned into a huge ensemble. Everybody starts to sing. And after they finishes their singing, the cat joins as well. He says, wow, this gives me a really weird, warm and fuzzy feelings that I've been missing for a very, very long time. Where can I learn it? And Tiny says, well, I'll teach you, but you need to release all the mice, stop bothering us, whatever, and that's the happy ending. Everybody sings at the end, yes. All right, so there is this little presentation we did. The other thing I want to point out is that you're looking at an elementary school kid singing the lead role, and then this is a high school kid. I think he is senior this year. So my creation of opera, my goal of creating an opera is to make it more accessible to the audience, and more accessible for the performers as well. I think in order for people to really appreciate the art form, it's important to feel how the art is created. So I'm really happy that I got the school students involved with this project. And they really did a great job. I said, don't worry about the notes. Nobody knows what the music should sound like, right? But we can notice the rhythm. So if you get the rhythm right, get the words right, we're good. So they did it. Here. Oh. So here. Okay, so that's that part. And how do I end it up here? Okay. All right. So there are a few fun facts about this opera. First is there are several folk songs used in the opera. I said that I went back to my childhood, and not just folk stories, also for melodies as well. The very beginning. That's a folk song in Taiwan. It talks about New Year's things, and then there before the fight scene, when they are realizing that they have the power, there is. This is one of the folk songs that we are very familiar with in Taiwan. It's called King O. It means the sky is getting dark, the rain is gonna fall. And yeah, so it's gonna rain, so prepare for it. And the other line of it that eventually evolves into that's a ancient tune called General's Order. So that's also a fight scene. And in a let's see if I can show you this. We'll jump here, sorry. And then during our presentation, I created this animation, and the music in the background is also a fight scene usually played by a traditional instrument named Pipa, and it's very percussive. It's in my mind, when I pictured the fight scene, I was seeing it as if I was watching a street theater show. So street theaters were very popular in Taiwan when I was growing up, and they would do things like and they would start circling, and then sometimes they turn into the crazy waving hair thing. I cannot do that. If I do that, I probably will just fall. So I'll ask someone else to do it. So this is it. We'll take a look at it. I created this because during this part there is no singing, and I thought if there is an animation going with it, the kids in JCC probably wouldn't fall asleep. So that's that. So that's the plan. Start that. So, oh, and I don't like using AI for my creation.
Good.
So all the things that you've seen here were done by my own work. I drew all the pictures to make the animation, and I mean for the book as well. I mean these. I mean what's that? I scanned the image, but before I scanned everything in this book was just drawn by myself. So was this opera creation. Yeah, and I really appreciate the human flaws. I think the part of being human and being imperfect makes this process more fun. I get to see how far I can push myself. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. And that's just a part of life. I find it really beautiful. Okay, so I use some folk song, and there are two important ones I haven't introduced yet. One of them is this one. So that part eventually evolves into a fugue form, and the melody is from a Ukrainian song, Oi Uluzi. So this is my effort of appreciating Ukrainian culture. I used one of their folk songs into my opera as a way to preserve a part of the history and my stance in the history as well. And then when Luo Miao catches everybody, and when Tiny starts to sing, the melody Tiny sings is actually from a folk song in Xinjiang. So Xinjiang is a big province in China, and that's where, if you are following the news, you would know there was an asylum seeker who exposed the existence of re-education camps and huge warehouses. Okay, that's in Xinjiang. So I find that melody really moving. I used it in my opera as a way to make sure that this culture continues, and so people will keep asking questions. So that. Okay. And then now we have the second one is the bass baritone is thought to perform 4 different roles in this opera. So Emmanuel has to sing Luo Miao first, and then during the journey of the search for the greatest power, Emmanuel changed into the sun, the wind, and the wall. And this process is also really amazing. I'll make sure that we show you a little bit of that. And this opera can be presented with a piano, chamber orchestra, or a full orchestra. So these scores exist now, and it's based on what people have, what people need, and I can still make different arrangements. For instance, the performance I'm about to do in Taiwan Center, instead of a soprano, a mezzo-soprano, a tenor, and a bass, I have basically 3 mezzos. So I probably could, at some point, could have an all-female cast to perform this opera. And I'll be thrilled to do that too. Okay, now let me introduce you to the fantastic bass baritone I just encountered for this opera, Emmanuel.
Hi.
So we are going to show you the journey part. I will try to sing all 3 mice, and Emmanuel will be the and whatever else.
That's where we do our
Yeah.
musical part of the presentation.
Yes. All right.
Where do we start?
I will start from. Do we have the same page? The sun, before the sun, when they sing the greatest mind must be alive.
Let's see, I'm not seeing a greatest might. Let's see, what does it look like on the page? That's, okay. I am not seeing.
And I totally put him on the spot because he told me that, hey, I'm gonna be here for your presentation. I said, well, would you like to come up and sing something? And he's like, okay. So let's
We
figure it out.
don't have the same.
No, we don't have the same pagiation. Yeah,
Do we have the
because
same measure numbers? 244? Let's try that.
Oh, it's before this because this is the flight.
Okay.
Oh, you're at the wind now, so before that is the sun.
Okay.
Go to the sun. Oh, here you are.
Okay. Alright, I'm set.
Okay, so I'm the 3 mice. The greatest one must be alive. Will the sun be on our side? The stroke speaks now. O sun, the most powerful, be our friend all days of need.
I'm not as mighty as you think.
What should we do? Whom shall we seek?
The wind blows the clouds that make me hide. Nothing I do can move them aside.
The greatest one must be alive. Will the wind be on I think those could be Morse codes. Does anyone speak Morse code?
And then we asked the kids,
Yeah.
does anybody know Morse code here?
Yeah, and in JCCD was one kid that says, yes, I do. So I went there and I said, okay, so what did he say? Yeah, that was fun.
Did he actually know?
No.
No, he was bluffing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, and then
So we ask and then it's like,
I do.
you can talk. What did you use word?
My friend, you studied it.
What? Eureka! You're not.
Listen to the tenor. Dude, H, dude, I.
H and I made high.
So I choose to respond with these Morse codes.
You are funny. So what did you say?
I'm not as mighty as you think.
What should we do? What should we say?
Well, are you kidding me? That no. Oops, I missed a
What's
measure.
that? Well, are you kidding me? No
Are you
regrets.
kidding me? I missed a measure.
Yep.
Mice have teeth that gnaw my bricks.
It's not your break.
Nothing I do can stop your tricks.
You mean to read his mind? You mean to read his mind? Yeah. Thank you. And then now we're gonna jump to the cat part. So yeah, so he was very busy doing all this, and then when you saw the crawling and all the things, he just added them in. I didn't ask him to do any of those things. And
oh, we got some?
yeah, so that was brilliant, and we had a good show, and I just felt good looking at like all the artists having their own interpretation of my work. That makes me feel good. I like that. I like being able to let other people having an ownership of my art as well. I find it very important, and as it's like looking at the society, looking at the community growing. It's not just me telling you doing this and that. It's like, oh, I have this idea. What do you think? And then everyone contributes to it. And I find this extremely beautiful. And I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So, I just kind of have to add that when I was playing the cat again, I found, I think it must have been from some earlier production, like a bamboo stick, a leaf from like a fake tree. And so I decided, oh, this is going to be the imaginary cauldron here. I'm just going to throw this little bit of spice into and I'm going to stir it with the bamboo stick. So that was kind of fun. That was an improv thing.
Yeah,
That was kind of cool.
and the beauty of this is that so in the children's opera, we don't often get to see the ballet with it. Ballet is very common in opera productions. And so in the upcoming performance in Discovery Center, for that, I came to a local dance instructor and I said, hey, would you like to be the choreographer? I have this idea, I don't know how to do it, but I would like to see some puppet show performance by your talented dancers. And then I would love if you could teach the chorus and everybody some body movement thing to help them interpret their characters. And that is a go. So I can't wait.
That's awesome. It's my first time hearing about this.
Okay, alright, yeah, so lots of things have developed, yes. And now I am going to take you to the end of this opera. This is, let's see, the cat. Let's jump actually, should we do the cooking? Yeah, let's do the cooking.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cooking.
She is such an eclectic.
I don't know the word, can you tell me?
Eclectic, like you're able to pull from a whole bunch of different cultures and influences and stuff like that and merge them together.
Right.
Yeah.
I-
So this
I-
is kind of like blues, this aria here. I get
Right,
that singing
yeah.
bluesy.
That's how we grew up. I mean, I grew up in Taiwan, and Taiwan, when people ask me what Taiwan is all about, I have no idea because I was educated by the nationalists at the time, and they told us that, well, China is part of ours. We gotta go back there, save our brothers and sisters, and so I grew up not knowing much about Taiwan. I learned all about China, and it wasn't true anyway. And yeah, it's just like all the things. And so a part of me not knowing the Taiwanese culture is a part of my creative process. So I get to do all the different things. People will be like, "You're from Taiwan, why are you doing opera? Why don't you sing Taiwanese opera?" It's like, no, I grew up at the time when this was oppressed. And now, when I'm creating, I would like to help the oppressed get out, get their voices heard. And that's what I'm about right now. And there are other people doing the revival work for Taiwanese culture. That's great. I don't need to prove myself by getting into the same pool and doing the same thing. I'm just like, this is me. So hey, we're gonna have a little blues here.
Okay.
I was told a long, long time ago. Cats took mice as a source of protein. For real. I never thought of that. I'm concerned about the personal hygiene. But you know what? Maybe it's exactly what I need. I'll try to stir-fry one of you and sprinkle some seaweed.
You will never win. I'm right here. Let the dance begin. And they go into the fight scene that you just watched. So that's that. And the other thing is that when we were going through this part, Emmanuel told me that I'm not really that comfortable on the E. I may break. And I said, that's great, because that break of the sound can be the uncontrollable joy that's about to happen. And we do that when we say things and then we break. Sometimes, why not, right? And he kept it. I think he actually has all the notes, and he just did that as a color. That was fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, you see this, and I have the pencil.
Yeah, that's
No, it works.
yeah,
It works. It's fun.
Yeah, I really love it. And then, so when I'm working with singers nowadays, when they said, "Oh, I can't sing the high notes," I feel that I'm getting airy. I'm doing something. I'm like, use it as a color. Think of your character. Does it make sense to do it that way? Then that's a color. That's not a mistake or anything. Embrace it, and then everybody's happy. Woohoo! All right. So after that fight scene, see.
I'm tied up in the chair.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a chair there.
And then now, yes. So they, are you? Oh, okay. We have the super cat. Super cat activated.
Activated. Super Cat activated. You thought that you could take me down. Too bad that you are wrong. Finally, I can go to town. This would not take too long.
If you know
talking about it.
My dear friends,
And this is the Xinjiang melody.
hear me sing the tune of beautiful sky so blue. Remember that I will always be with you. What is this? I haven't chopped the onions.
And all the mice that will catch it started to hum along.
My dear friends, hear me singing the tune of blooming sunflowers everywhere, and I will follow you anywhere.
And all the mice started to sing together.
My dear friends, join me singing this tune of wonders that I find on the path. This warm and free I will fly. The first time I felt something warm and fuzzy, like a touch long ago. I've been missing it in my chateau. This is so beautiful. Can someone teach me more? Maybe, only if you promise you will not. I promise, Tiny, the mightiest. Tiny, the mightiest.
And then they go back to the beginning melody and then end this.
Big
and then-
finale.
Yeah, big finale. So if you're interested, come to one of the shows in the future. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah, the cat lives, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. So the future of this opera. What do we do after this, right? Workshop performance in Taiwan Center in Flushing, New York. That's a concert version of this. And I'm very excited. It's gonna be performed by 5 professional singers. So the cat and the 3 rows were broken up. The sun and the wind and the wall will be sung by 1 bass, and Luo Miao will be sung by 1 bass. It's a very rare occasion when I have more basses.
2 basses.
Yeah, that's
I was
like,
gonna say.
what? Can you do Binghamton? Anyways, so that was fantastic. Manuel traveled from afar. Where did you? Manuel? Cologne. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, we if you know any place, let me know. All right. I love you, Manuel. Just saying.
Love you too, dude. You're awesome.
All right, and then workshop performance in the Discovery Center. That's November 14th. So as I said, that one, we're workshopping it to a fully staged production, and then workshop performance in Center Shenango Street UMC. So that's actually the same cast, the same production, just in different space. TCO tour. So TCO is my physical sponsor for this project, and our idea is that they will tour with us. So lots of students in this region will get to see TCO presenting this opera in their school. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
And then other performances internationally. I'm also talking with friends in Taiwan. This is the interesting part about being an artist. When I just tell Taiwanese people that I have this fantastic idea, I want to show you this, they're like, "Oh, I'm interested." And then when you get an award and something like, all of a sudden they're like, hey, tell me more about that. So, that's just the reality of it. I embrace any opportunities that come toward me, so thank you. And then this also helps me build a production, not company, but a production group. So now I have more ideas of what I need to put more operas together. And I'm thinking of this not for just myself. I mean, I am limited, like creating an opera takes a lot of time. So let's say that Manuel, he's also a composer, if he comes up with an opera, and I'll be like, hey, you know how we did that? Maybe we can do a performance for you. And you know, Chris, children's book writer.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So
nice.
maybe there is a book somewhere that can turn into a theater piece, and then we'll be like, hey, this is what we could do with it. So I'm really excited to see all the possibilities that could be related to the opera, or just related to the production point and all the friends I've made and how we can help each other. Cool. All right. Questions? Do you have any questions? Yes.
How long is it total? How long is the opera?
The opera is about 25 minutes. Yeah, so it's very manageable. I feel for children, they start to lose their mind very quickly. So around half an hour is like, that's
Can't be
the upper
long
limit.
there.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'm trying to keep it that way. And I really think more companies should do this. For me, the budget is low, like compared to tens of thousands. Like this can be done less than that. And I was saying that when I have a good story, I feel passionate about. I talk to people. I said, hey, I want to do this. I will need resources, and this is the reason I'm doing it. And this is the goal I want to achieve. And sometimes people feel very compelled by the story, and they're like, hey, how much do you need? Let's do this. Or I can provide a space for you to do this, and you don't need to worry about the venue. I can recruit for you. Where are you performing? So just I guess just asking. I still have many friends, so I haven't been all like, stay away from me. So that's that. Anything else?
What's really your inspiration in your, traveling path story?
Traveling past or
On your artistic journey, what inspired you to write this?
Oh, this actually is what Emmanuel pointed out. When you see my creation, it's usually a mixture of a lot of things, and every bit of this has something to do with the people I've met and the stories I've learned during this journey, my life journey. So if I feel compelled to tell the story, to sing a specific song, or sometimes to use a specific performer. For instance, I wrote Tiny having Josiah Marshall in my mind. Josiah is a 17-year-old countertenor, and I discovered him when he was singing in a school show in Owego. And I actually went for someone else, and I ended up seeing him. I was like, wow, that kid is so talented. He was singing and dancing at the same time. And at the time, I was working for this company, so I said, hey, you should audition for their main role, and I think you have a very high chance of getting it. And he did. And so when I created this, I had him in my mind. I didn't know if I would really have him, but I pictured him singing this. I had his voice in my mind when I was creating it. So anything like friends, stories, cast, they are all a part of the creative process now. So yeah.
Yeah, great. Because I was thinking about doing a list of like a collection of childhood vignettes.
Oh, nice.
And was interested in other people and other writers like yourself, what their thought process is, so I could like use as reference.
Right.
To encourage my writing.
Yeah, and as I shared during my book creation, there were times that it felt impossible. Like I just got this block, like I now look at it and I'm like, this is only 25 minutes. But when I was creating it up to 15 minutes, I felt like that's the end of the opera. I'm like, I have to come up with 10 more minutes. I told myself that. What's the 10 more minutes? what am I gonna do with it? And sometimes it's just like, okay, I start writing and see what happens next. And so a part of it was just being patient with myself and let it out and embrace it, even if I didn't like it at the time, maybe I'll turn to something else. And in this case, I actually have more than I needed, and I'm glad that I went through this process and see that. So yeah.
Thank you.
Any more before we pick up the next slide? I actually don't remember what the next one is. Special thanks. Okay. So, again, special thanks to New York State Council on the Arts, Tri-Cities Opera, Artist Grant Navigator. I kept I'm sorry, I can't.
It's fine.
It's not fine. I need to get it right.
It was once navigation, now it's navigator because it's just me.
No. Okay, so yeah, thank you. And then everyone who has helped with this project, I really appreciate it. I feel good, and I will keep going, and I hope to see other people doing the same and more. It's that. So thank you. And this will be the dress for 2026. I will wear it to every event. Yes.
I love it.
Thank you. Okay.
What's the dance company that you're working with?
Dance Intentions.
Okay.
So the company is in Bristol. My kids go there. That's why I'm like, oh, I know them already.
I think I passed their location.
Yeah, they're growing. I went through their recital and realized, wow, there's so many dancers. I'm excited, and I'm gonna turn that off now. Hee hee.